Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jackie, and we're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst movies from the late 90s and early 2000s. This week, we're talking about the 2001 rom-com Head Over Heels. But before we dive in, let's get into some housekeeping. If you love the podcast and you want to support us, here are a few ways you can.
Did you know writing a review and or rating us helps us get more listeners? If you want to be featured and help us grow, head to Apple, Spotify, Podchasers, Good Pods, or your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review.
And if you want to support us further, head on over to ko-fi.com/no-more-late-fees and buy us a virtual cup of coffee.
Or you can head to our Redbubble store at nomorelatefees.redbubble.com and check out some of our merch. Get a t-shirt, support us. But we do have to recognize that we are not behind our computers with our headphones.
We're not.
We're together in person. Really excited. We decided since we were together, we would do a real podcast studio experience. And we found a really great studio right here in Round Rock called Round Rock Podcast Studio. I have to make sure I get it right because I don't know Austin. Round Rock sounds about right. Absolutely glad that we're doing this. It's so fun.
It is.
Hopefully we could do it again.
Absolutely.
So shout out to let me make sure, if you guys want to check them out, it's Round Rock Podcast Studio. Check them out on Google or Instagram.
You know what that sound means? It's another episode of Game for a Movie, where we ask, are you game for a movie?
Tell me, Andre.
There's no special features on that goddamn DVD, alright?
Oh, wow.
For Hansel and Gretel?
Hansel and
You
Gretel.
have a
What?
DVD
You watch it?
of
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel.
She basically has sex with it, somehow.
No,
Foreplay.
yeah, yes.
She's chair foreplay.
They knocked it out of the park, which is why it's my number 3. So.
Oh! Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't be in it because this movie doesn't have women. But, you know, it's
You-
fine.
It has
It's right.
It has one.
You would have 3 lines of dialogue.
No, she has more than 3.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually gonna get, I earn my 4 sentences of dialogue rather than, here, have a paycheck. You just stood there on the screen. You're a sexy lamp.
Shape or form. Anyway, we're not.
Dark Phoenix 2.
No.
No.
Because they really hate each other, so we get to enjoy some wonderful comedic scenes of them hating each other so much that they get into physical altercations that include her biting ex-detective Phillips's dick.
Okay?
But we don't. Okay. In a hot tub.
I know all of those words were English, but the way you constructed them, I'm lost.
I'm not finding their range of them very well. For those who haven't rated us or liked or given us a review, don't say that we haven't given you anything of value after listening to this podcast. You now know the difference between an R-rated dick and an NC-17 X-rated dick. You're welcome.
Thank you guys for listening to Game for a Movie, where we ask, are you game for a movie? We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
So Head Over Heels, in a reimagining of the Hitchcock classic Rear Window, Head Over Heels is the story of Amanda, who is unlucky in love, and after she catches her boyfriend cheating, has to move into a loft with 4 models. She sparks an interest in Jim, who lives in the building next door, but things take an unexpected turn when she thinks she sees Jim commit a murder from the window of her loft. With the help of her new roommates, they investigate Jim to see if Amanda's crush is a killer. It stars Monica Potter, Freddie Prinze Jr., Shalom Harlow, Ivana Milicevic, Sarah Murdoch, Tomiko Fraser, and China Chow, directed by Mark Waters, written by John J. Strauss, Ed Decter, Ron Birch, and David Kidd. And it is not currently streaming, so you're going to have to hop on over to Amazon and purchase it on DVD.
Right, to get it legally.
Why you always got to be saying stuff like that?
I'm just saying, if you want to legally get it, then you better buy it on DVD. If not, think outside the box.
But before we start, let's get into our ratings rewind.
So, you know the drill. Before we get into the movie, we'll reveal our rating of our Y2K versions of ourselves would give. Then at the end, we'll see if our current selves agree with our initial rating. Our scale consists of would buy it again,
The best would play on repeat.
5-day rental,
Would watch again.
2-day rental,
Okay, but nothing to write home about.
and same-day rental.
Trash. Straight up trash.
All right, you want to start? What's your Y2K rating?
I was quoting this movie before we even started watching it. So Y2K Jackie definitely bought it and watched it a lot.
Well, Y2K Danielle bought it. She had it. I don't know where it is currently. I didn't look on my shelf before I left if I even have it, but I know I did buy it. And I thought it was fun. Like, Rear Window used to be one of my favorite movies, so anything with a twist on that, I'm like, I'm down for. And it's our daddy,
It is.
Freddie Prinze Jr. So I would give it a would buy myself.
Tell us about that box office.
Well, it was rough in 2001 for this movie. The budget was $14 million, and they only made $13.1 million back. And by most standards, the film was financially unsuccessful. It was released in February 2001. It opened at number 7 in about 2,000 theaters, and it only grossed about $4.8 million opening weekend. And it opened to largely negative reviews. Here's a wonderful one. Head Over Heels. Oh, wait. Let me see. Robert K. Elder of the Chicago Tribune wrote, with her Julia Roberts-like vulnerability and Cupid doll eyes, what an insult, Potter certainly outshines Prince, who doesn't deviate much from his past teen dream roles, though he's winsome just the same.
I will say his acting, not stellar,
No.
but he was still charming.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the charm of Freddie Prinze Jr. is that he can kind of get away with just being himself.
Yeah.
100%. But there were times where he was
The whole, Hamlet, and like
Right.
runs after the
that
dog.
dog thing was ridiculous. But when I was watching this movie, it finally clicked for me because we just watched Point Break the other day. Shout out to our friends at I Finally Watched. But like, I feel like Freddie Prinze Jr. is
Keanu adjacent.
yes, 100%.
I can see that.
Yeah, and who did we say also had Keanu vibes, or Keanu was
Paul Walker.
Yes, which is funny because we did She's All That, and both Freddie Prinze and Paul Walker are both in that movie. But yeah, they're giving those vibes 100%. It also said Head Over Heels was being blasted by critics as a huge mess. The plot and jokes were idiotic, while the toilet humor was gratuitous and more gross than funny. You know what? I have to disagree with this because I feel like we've watched some other movies where they literally only had like one toilet kind of gross situation. And for that time frame, because, you know, we think of The Sweetest Thing, and even when we're watching Final Destination and the poop stuff,
Yeah.
like it just seemed to be a thing that happened in movies. Not sure why. But I didn't think it was that ridiculous.
No, there was just one over the top
Yeah.
gross out scene. The rest of it was pretty benign.
And I still left.
yeah.
I still left. I do think it's interesting when we talk about the cast that Claire Danes was originally set to play the lead of Amanda, but she had to drop out at the last moment, and Monica Potter, who had already been signed on for a smaller role, was moved into Amanda's part as a result, which I was like, oh, could I see Freddie Prinze Jr. and Claire Danes together? But then I remember they were in for Jillian
To Jillian
on her 37th birthday. Long ass title, but he played like her boyfriend in that movie, so I was like, oh, they've already done something. But still, I can't see Claire Danes in a romantic comedy.
No. And Monica Potter, like, they just had such cute chemistry together. I have a hard time seeing anyone else in this role.
I'm surprised she didn't have a bigger rom-com career because she did a great job. And I mean, it's like if Sandy and Julia were busy, why not get the person that looks exactly like Julia but blonde?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Monica Potter was originally interested in the role of Candy, but Mark Waters saw her for the role of Amanda, the lead, instead. I cannot see her as Candy at all.
I was going to say the same thing. So I think it's funny that she like plays, like they try to down her, make her dowdy a little bit. And I'm like, okay, yes, she's not really quite tall enough to
Model-esque.
be a model. Right.
Yeah.
But who are you trying to fool to make us think that she's like not a beautiful woman?
Yeah.
That was weird. But Candy, I don't see her. I've seen her in other roles and I don't see her doing that.
I think because the model turned actress who played Candy was so fantastic. Like I feel like, and that actress is Sarah Murdoch. I feel like almost every person cast was spot on.
Yeah, in the middle of us watching it, I said to Jackie, I was like, oh, well, the girl who plays Candy was in the movie Get Over It. And Jackie's like, no, it's not. And it wasn't. But the actresses look very similar. One's from New Zealand. I don't know if she's from New Zealand, but she was from Australia in the movie. They look very similar accents. And they were both like these immense klutz in both movies. So I don't blame myself for thinking that maybe they were the same person.
So Freddie Prinze Jr. was the first choice for the role of Jim Winston. It was actually written with him in mind.
That is also very interesting. I'm trying to think, like, I do feel like they had really good chemistry together, but I also think, like, I would have liked to see Timothy Olyphant a little bit longer.
Yeah, he only gets one role as the cheating boyfriend, or one scene as the cheating boyfriend. I just like to watch him in anything.
It was a nice surprise because I didn't remember him being in that movie, so it was like, oh, it was nice.
There you are.
Yeah. So you want to
hop on in? Okay, so the movie is set in New York City. They did shoot in Vancouver as well. Danielle, could you tell when it was Vancouver and when it was New York?
I think like some of the side streets when they were at those warehouses with the dresses and stuff like that. But I think they did a pretty good job not looking like a fake New York. Because they did a lot of exterior shots where you knew it was New York.
Yeah.
So it's not like Half Baked where I was like, this is not New York.
Or Blade.
Or Blade, where it was clearly Los Angeles. Yeah, no. So they passed the Danielle New York City radar. Like, I didn't get taken out of the movie.
So we meet Amanda. She works at the Met. She restores Renaissance paintings. Along with her friend and coworker, Lisa. I love this actress. China Chow is fantastic. She eats up every scene she's in this movie.
Yeah, it goes back to that, like, woman of color playing the side friend to their only role is to lift up the white female protagonist. But, like, she did a lot with the little that was given to her.
Yes. And we also meet their other coworkers who they dubbed the menopause triplets.
I want to be friends with those ladies.
It's just 3 old ladies. And they just don't give a shit. Like, they just say whatever's on their mind. Half of them can't hear anything. But they are really good comic relief in scenes that might have been way too serious to, like, in the movie.
Her character, Monica Potter's character, being so like uptight, sometimes it kind of got annoying.
Yeah.
So they brought levity for sure.
Yeah. So we see a new painting is brought in, and Amanda has this thing where her knees get weak whenever she sees a new Renaissance painting.
Apparently, that is a disorder.
Oh.
Her character has the symptoms of Stendhal syndrome, a condition where seeing a beautiful piece of art or something particularly pleasing to the eye can cause symptoms including dizziness and fainting. So, question, does she really love the paintings or does she have a disease? Does she really love Jim or does she have a disease?
I think it can be both.
I
Because
guess
she
so.
has to have those feelings in order for that condition to kick in.
Yeah, it made me think of Mia from Princess Diaries having to have her
Foot pop.
Yeah.
So this painting has one of the people in the painting, his face is gone. And so she has to recreate a Renaissance-esque face. That's her next task. And she does say art is better than real life because you can stay in love forever. And then she goes home to surprise her boyfriend Michael with dinner. And she walks in on him. He is a photographer, and he's in bed with a model.
I think he did this on purpose. You have to be so bold. You guys live together.
Yeah.
So you know that she can come home at any time. Why would you do that?
Yeah. And he's not really sorry.
He doesn't even care. It's weird.
So now she has to move out. She is sad in Lisa's apartment. And, oh, by the way, Lisa is a lesbian.
I have lesbian friends, and I don't ever feel like we're going to be in the same bed and they're going to try to,
Grab your boob.
grab my boob.
Lisa does. And then she asks, is this okay?
But she doesn't really ask.
No.
But I guess they needed some motivation for her to find her an apartment.
Yeah.
I just didn't think her friend had to sexually harass her for it to happen.
I agree.
Yeah.
So the next day, Amanda sees a flyer for a room in a loft, and she's going to view the loft, and she is tackled by a huge-ass Great Dane named Hamlet.
Okay, so situation, you're Amanda, and you get sexually assaulted by this dog. Do you stay mad when you see it's Freddie Prinze Jr. who's the owner?
I don't know. I think it would be completely situational for me.
I'm not getting mad the first time.
Yes.
The
Hamlet,
many other times I have to.
there is no control over Hamlet. And he attacks Amanda and humps her every time.
So my question is it his dog or is he really walking it for someone?
Hamlet is not at the end of the movie.
Yes, he is.
Where? In the apartment?
Okay, so well, you're right. We don't see him in the apartment, but he has him again. He's walking him again.
Yeah, I think it's just some lady in the apartment. Because, both times or all the times that they're in his apartment, Hamlet's not there.
That's true. Well, he's being very nice. I don't know.
Yeah. But also, keep that dog on a leash.
Right. First of all, you're that is so unrealistic to be having that big ass dog in New York without a leash. That's just not happening.
So, Jim introduces himself after Hamlet accosts Amanda. And as he's introducing himself, she gets weak in the knees. So we're like, uh-oh, she only does that with paintings.
Right, because her friend does ask her, has this ever happened with a man? And she says no. So, now we know the importance of the fact that she's doing this with this new man. So...
and then there is some banter back and forth where she was like, keep control of your huge dong, your huge dick, your dog. So she does trip over her words when she is flustered.
What is that, a Freudian slip, they would say? Yeah.
So now we are in the loft. She is shown to her room, which is like a broom closet.
So clearly these models are playing, they scheme. I love them. They scheme about everything. And so clearly when you see the closet, that was the room. Mm-hmm. But they have turned the room into the closet, a huge closet. and given her. I love when she says, "It's not a closet.
It has a window.
There's a window in here." So that just justifies it, and she still pays for it.
Yeah.
But I do love that the rent is $500 a month now in New York, even for that size of a room, is unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, can't do it.
And so Amanda is meeting her roommates. There's Candy, Roxana, trying to think of the other ones. Holly and Jade are the four roommates.
Roxana's Holly and Roxana are my favorites.
Roxana is my favorite, hands down. I love her. She is Russian. She is so sarcastic and like deadpan. Oh, chef's kiss. So they say that they are the only non-smoking models in New York, and that's why they're rooming together. And then we get that scene that's in all the trailers where it's like a camera POV where like the models look really tall and Amanda looks really short, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're all models."
I do love, so like Candy's whole side story is the fact that she's a newer model and she has like to have all these plastic surgeries because she's not symmetrical, as she would say. And I do like that Amanda is like, "No, you are gorgeous. Why do you keep on having these surgeries?"
Yeah.
So it's like a running gag throughout the whole movie that you see her with a million different bandages, which I can't imagine having that many surgeries back to back.
Yeah.
But she says she got it on a bulk deal.
Yeah.
Weird.
And
She's
she's very naive and innocent.
Yeah.
Like she tells stories about her time on the farm in Australia, and they're not great.
No, her Uncle Pete is a pedophile.
Yes.
100%. Gross. It's just also like when you think about it, the way that they add those kind of things into movies as jokes is like not okay.
Yeah.
You know?
So we find out as Amanda is moving in, there's like a group of guys and like a clipboard out in the hall. And apparently every night at 8, these guys come in, they sign up on the clipboard, and then the models choose who they want to take them out for the evening.
Jackie found this like whole thing unrealistic, and I
did not. It was Ken.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Of course. Ken thought it was unrealistic, and I was like, this is a real thing that happens.
Yeah.
I should have said, have you ever heard of being flew out? Like, being flown out. Now it's just like, you don't have to be a model. You just have to be an Instagram model, and you can get all this crap.
Yeah. And so Amanda is kind of thrown into this model world. She, like, they're all walking around topless, like trading shirts and stuff, trying to figure out what they want to wear to dinner. And then they're all looking at the potential dates, and they're like, "Oh, he has knockoff Prada shoes. That's a real Rolex." And so Amanda's just kind of like, "Oh, so you pick your relationships based on clothing and gifts?" And they're like, "Yeah, what else?"
I'm 100% down with this philosophy. And it is true. Like, if you really do want to see if a man is rich, and I've been told this by our very famous rich friend, you know who she is.
I do.
She said that you do have to look at a man's shoes.
She shamed me for buying dresses on Amazon.
You know who you are.
So as Amanda is moving in, she looks across the way and she notices she can see straight into Jim's apartment.
Right.
So this is kind of a little montage of like they're watching Jim work out, they're watching Jim feed the fish. Like it just like they have
become obsessed.
Yeah, they have popcorn, they have snack. Like it's a whole thing. They have binoculars.
I just love that their door has this. They don't have a peephole or a keyhole.
It's like one of those like castle slide
You could
doors.
literally fit your hand through it.
Like a mail slot, but up high.
Yeah, I do
at eye
like
level.
that.
And the models know who he is. They say he's a fashion exec, and his name is Jim Winston. And then the next day, she's tackled on the street again by Hamlet.
What's with this dog?
He really likes her.
He did look like Marmaduke.
Yeah.
I think that's the name, right?
Yes. And so later that evening, so we get another meet cute. She gets flustered again and says, "I got the runs" instead of "I've got to run."
Yeah.
And now she's at dinner with the models,
Right.
And she's like, "Oh my God, it's like $120. How are we gonna pay this bill?"
And it wasn't even $120. It was $1,200. And I was like, wait a minute. Even if it was $120, there was 4 of them.
5.
No, there was only 4. Candy stayed home.
Oh, that's right.
Because there was hairstyle diversity on this movie. And if you notice, we rarely got a lot of moments where there was Candy and Amanda. There was like a few scenes.
Yeah.
But not so much.
Yeah.
So Candy was at home. There was only 4 of them. $120. I mean, I don't think that's astronomical.
No. So Jade is like, "Oh, we don't pay for meals," holds up the receipt, and all of these guys who have been waiting at the bar, and they're all like, "We're at dinner with them," but they have to sit at the bar. And so they're like falling all over themselves to be the ones to pay for dinner.
Now, I could say that part was probably just a little unrealistic.
Yeah. And I guess the montage happens now because they're like, Jim seems pretty perfect, and Amanda's like, there's always a flaw. Like, I never fall for the good guy. So they're like, that's why they're watching him through the window, other than being just creepy stalkers, is they're trying to find some sort of flaw. Like, so Girl Scouts show up and they're like, "Oh, look at these girls, blah, 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 underage, like cookie ring," like just trying to find something. Or like he's holding a baby and they're like, "Oh,
he's got a baby."
He's got a baby. And then it's like the parents walk in and he was just holding the baby for the parents. So it's always something, and she's trying to figure out like what his flaw is.
Yeah, she wasn't willing to take this leap of faith. And then they find out, I believe they find out that he's throwing a party.
Yes.
So they see him preparing for it, and the girls are like, "Look, we're just gonna crash. We're models. Like, who doesn't want models at the party?" Which I guess is very true.
Yes.
And then we get a makeover.
We do, to ABBA.
Gotta love that. So they give Amanda a model makeover. I don't like the dress that she's wearing.
The makeup is way too heavy and dark.
Yeah.
But she does have like bright pink it's very early aughts.
Yeah.
Bright pink eyeshadow with like a bronze lip. I was like, this doesn't even...
It was I thought it was dark eyeshadow, and her lip was like a weird reddish, like,
yeah,
it just was
like a brick reddy like it was not great. And they're in the elevator and they're giving her like the little pep talk, like, "Okay, this is how you act like a model. Clench your cheeks." So she like sucks in her cheeks. Then they're like, "Not those," and like smack her on the ass. And then one of my favorite lines, Roxanne goes, "Turn them on the headlights," and they all start like pinching their nipples to make them hard.
I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
I guess so.
Like Rachel from Friends. All the time.
So they show up at Jim's, and then he's kind of just like schmoozing everyone.
He's a grade A douchebag.
Yeah.
Like, she's just watching him, and he's literally saying the sleaziest things. And she's like so turned off by that. And she's like, "I'm out."
Yes. So she walks out to the stairs, and she... you see Jim sitting at the top of the stairs. I guess she didn't see him until after she passed him. And he was like, "Amanda?" And as she turns around, she loses her balance and falls down the stairs.
I'm probably told this story already, but like, to fall on those iron cast stairs is no joke. And she didn't just like kind of stumble. She did like a full roll down those stairs.
Backwards.
She would have been dead.
Yeah.
There's no way she's popping up for that. Not dead, maybe, but very much in pain.
Yes. And so she stops to talk to Jim after she regains consciousness.
She pops right up and she's fine.
And she's like, I'm leaving. Like, this is not my scene. And he does say something about how he hopes she's not a model.
Well, yeah, she tries to explain that, like, she lives with a bunch of models and they, like, got her all dressed up or whatever. And he does say, well, you know, I really hope you're not a model because it's, like, one of the things I do like about you. Mm-hmm. So which is completely different from what she just saw inside.
Right. And she does make a comment that, like, it seems like he's two different people.
Right.
And she's like, you need to get back into your party. And he does tell her that you are the party, as far as I'm concerned.
Did that get you? Did that melt you?
I wrote it down, so...
Yeah, and they have like a good conversation. They're outside for a while. He gives her his jacket, and then they're interrupted by one of his fashion crony guys who, I guess what he's really trying to do is get an introduction to somebody called the chairman. Mm-hmm. So this guy, he's been talking to this guy, and he's like, I gotta go back inside.
Yeah.
She does ask him out. And it looks like he wants to say yes, but he does tell her no, mainly because he said he's got a lot of projects and stuff going on. And then so she backpedals and is like, oh, well, you know.
Me too.
Yeah, all that restoration, hard work. So she leaves, and you could tell she's kind of like sad.
And they do kiss. Or no, not yet. So sorry, I know. I'll cut that part out. So as she's downstairs and she's walking out, and Jim has like chased her down, and is all out of breath.
I try to understand these buildings. Like, is it like one of those U-shaped buildings where it's the same building but there's different elevators, or is it two separate buildings?
I don't know.
It's what I'm curious about.
So he does say he wants to go out with her, and he kisses her. And so
ask her out. They plan a date.
They plan a date. And so later on that evening, she's back up in her loft. She's still kind of looking into his apartment, and she sees him with a woman, and
someone she saw at the party, like that. It seems like it's lingering. So now she's like, oh, well, maybe it's not
what I think it is.
Right. Like,
yeah. And Jim closes the blinds, which he never closes the blinds.
Right. And it's only her and Candy home because the other models stayed at the party, and Candy now has surgery on her eyes, so she can't see anything. And this is where we get into the rear window of it all.
Yeah. Candy does, this was one of the lines where she's like, maybe it's her sister, and and one of the other models is like, it's not the Outback, Candy. Like, you don't close your blinds if you have your sister over. And then everyone is going out to the club, I guess. They're back in the loft.
Right.
They're changing so that they can go out to the after party or something.
Right.
And so while they're changing, Amanda sees the shadow of Jim.
Like, it looks like he's hitting her with a baseball bat, and then you kind of see her fall back, and all you see is her hand from that's not hidden by the curtains. And, like, of course, Amanda goes crazy. I honestly, if I saw that, I wouldn't talk to him again.
Yeah.
I would be so scared.
So she does call the police. We get the most misogynistic cop ever.
When we rewatched this, I was like, I do not remember this at all, but I am very angry with this man.
I don't either, and I think that speaks to, like, the time and how
Used to it.
just desensitized to it we were.
And also, I think I was more mad because she, like,
Didn't
stand up
Yeah.
and, like, at all. I would have just gotten the Russian girl to put him in place. But, yeah, he was... was it necessary? Was it necessary to the storyline?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because at one point he was like, she asked for his badge number. He's like, it's right here if you can count that high.
I mean, we'll leave it at that.
So the next morning, it's 7 a.m. The models are just getting home.
And she fell asleep. Well, no. Okay,
Yeah.
so the cops came, and then she fell asleep by the window. And the very next morning, doesn't she go to the precinct to...
No, well, she does, but not before. So the models wake her up as they come in, and she looks over at Jim's apartment, and he has a
he's
cleaning
back.
crew,
Right.
like deep cleaning the apartment. And then she goes down to the precinct to see if there was any follow up, and the cop was pretty much like, no body, no crime,
Right.
tough titties.
And they just laugh at her. And so the model friends are like, look, just do your own investigation. See if he's really a bad guy. And so that is what sets them all to help her look into him and follow him and watch him.
Yeah.
Which I kind of feel like, knowing what we know about Jim, how did he not know they were following him?
Maybe he did. I don't know.
Because I feel like the Russian guy eventually, like, he mentions the models and her, and I feel like the only reason they knew that is because they probably saw... Well, we see them see the girls following Jim, but I felt like he already knew they were following him before that scene.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's weird.
Oh, and they did say Megan, the girl that Amanda thinks FJP FPJ
Jim
killed was out of town.
Right, because I think he does say that. He at some point he says that she's out of town or something.
Yeah. So now we're back at...
Oh no, the cops said it, that she was out of town.
Yeah.
And so they have to get a hold of her.
But they're not worried.
They don't care.
Yeah. So now we're back at work.
Right.
Go ahead.
And is this when Jim comes and surprises her with roses?
No, this is when the models show up.
Right. And they're deathly afraid of the basement level or whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to say they did a horrible job of making Amanda believable as a restoration artist. First of all, she has a coffee with her.
There were so many like snacks and drinks in that room.
There's no way.
There's no like HVAC system to like keep dust particles off of these paintings.
She was no Wonder Woman. She was no Wonder Woman restoring, because that's all I was thinking about when I was watching it this time. Diana would never.
Yeah. So the models show up. They encourage her to keep her date with Jim.
I think this is where they tell her to do her own investigation.
Yes.
Right.
And then she is painting his face to replace the missing face in the painting.
And then I'm fine with her using his face, but his spiky hair.
That's not period correct.
It is not.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I'm no history buff, but I think Amanda.
And then this is where she goes into this like long diatribe about like, I don't care about him. And she's saying all the things she likes about him, but like, I don't care. And she's weeping. And then one of the menopause triplets is like, I'm going to have red beans for dinner.
She said it twice. And I mean, we were dying when she said it.
But then she like explains herself. She's like, I only caught every fifth word, but that girl is head over heels. So
Right.
that's where we get the title of the movie from.
And it has to be noted that one of the menopause triplets is definitely sleeping with their old man boss.
Yes.
I mean, they're old too. I don't even like the word of menopause triplets because they're way outside of menopause. I don't know. Knocking on the heaven's door triplets is what we should call them.
So the Amanda agrees to investigate Jim. They go to the maintenance man in his building, and they're seducing him, her and Roxanne.
But it doesn't work. What does he want, Jackie, instead?
He wants Roxanne's dress for the key to Jim's apartment. He's easy to pay off.
Yeah. He reminds me, have you seen the Netflix movie Set It Up?
No.
We'll have to watch that.
Okay.
Titus from Kimmy Schmidt movie, TV show. He's in it, and he plays like a very weird, similar situation, but not with the dresses. Plants are actually his thing. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. So Amanda and the models go up to investigate Jim's apartment. They find dirty laundry with a blood stain in quotation marks. It turns out to be ketchup. Roxanne is sitting eating cheese the whole time they're investigating.
All I was concerned with when Jim does finally come into his apartment, like, was the plate of cheese there?
Did she help herself?
Did she help herself to it, or did she find the cheese and use it? Like, and did she put the knives back? Like, I had so many questions about just that interaction.
And I love how she's like, so if you find a $20 bill on the floor of someone's apartment, is that the same as finding it on the street? And they're like, no. And she's like, oh, so I found nothing so far.
She was supposed to be looking, I don't know if it was like his laptop or something, but she found these
cheese daggers.
Right. And so then I want to say her name properly. The character's name. Oh, gosh.
Who?
So Holly, she stays in the apartment just to be the lookout and to try to get their attention. Here's where I have questions. Clearly, Amanda has a cell phone. So why did we have this whole scene where Holly finally sees, because Jim's elevator is broken, so he is going up the fire escape stairs, and so she realizes and trying to get their attention, but she doesn't call their cell phone. She's literally trying to catch their attention, and so she throws a kiwi. First of all, the chances of her actually throwing that kiwi and hitting that window, don't believe it. Secondly, hitting it without breaking the window, don't believe it. So I don't, like, that just bothered me, because some of our other movies, I'm like, okay, they didn't have cell phones, but we see Amanda using a cell phone, so that bothered me.
And this is also when she's first like waving and trying to say Jim's coming. This is where Candy says, charades, no props and no clothes, Uncle Pete's rules. And Jade responds, no more stories from the dark farm.
Also, like, it made me laugh because when we play charades, we have to be, I think it's gestures. With my mom, we have to like make her sit on her hands because she does not follow the rules of any of those games. Either she's not quiet or she can't move her hands. Stop moving her hands. It's a nightmare. But not the no clothes. That's gross.
Yeah, I agree. So the models are hiding in the shower. Jim comes in. Amanda is under his desk. She overhears like a conversation he has where they're talking about a runway.
Right.
And Jim then has to go
for number 2 in the bathroom.
Yes.
So I guess there is
two
more toilet humor things. And, I have to say, I would have been fine with not hearing the sound effect. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to hear Freddie Prinze Jr. shitting.
Yeah.
It was not fun
Not
for me.
necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he does wash his hands.
Yes, I was very upset about him not. It's like, oh my God, did he wash his hands? And then one of the characters says, "Oh, if he did not wash his hands, this investigation would be over."
Yeah.
And I would have to agree with Roxana on that one. So they leave the apartment. Well, after he leaves, and
The next scene is he shows up at Amanda's job with flowers.
and she's so creeped out. And like, I wonder if he got that vibe that she seemed kind of nervous and scared that he was coming on in there out of nowhere, because she jumps.
Yes. And she's like, this is my friend Lisa. She knows black belt. She's a black belt in karate. And he goes, oh, me too. And Lisa's like little, oh.
And she moves over.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if they actually said that it was jiu-jitsu, because that's what Freddie Prinze Jr. actually knows how to do.
Yeah. So he just says he couldn't wait to see her, so he stopped by. She asks if the police ever found that woman, and he's like, oh no, this is when he's like, oh no, she's just on vacation.
Right.
And now there's more like stalking him around the city. Candy gets caught up in a dress, and somehow they end up with the dress just to like sneak away. They're just like rushing to get away. Amanda uses that dress to gain access to his storage locker by giving it to the maintenance man. Which later on, I'm like, come to find out, spoiler alert, the dresses are covered in diamonds.
Right. Because knowing like seeing this movie, knowing the ending, I was like, oh, is this where they figure out the diamonds on the dress? But I was like, oh.
Yeah. So she's in the storage area. She sees Jim happens to come in. So she sees him like take this giant ass bag out of his storage locker. And she's like, this is it. He's going to bury a body in Central Park.
But okay, first of all, it doesn't even make any sense, because even if she's like, that girl was more than 100 pounds, I would guess.
Yeah.
He can't just carry it the way he was carrying it.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even seem like a body. I'm like, girl, you're out of control. She followed him in a cab to where he was going to bury the body. But like, also, it's a very open space. It's a fucking baseball
but it was dark.
diamond.
She didn't realize it was a baseball diamond.
She's a horrible investigator.
And come to find out, Jim coaches Little League, and that's when she finally lets her guard down. Is like, oh, he is.
That's all it took.
Apparently.
Just like, so he's a coach just like Keanu in Hardball.
Yeah. So about this time, I think they say that he's from Belgium earlier in the movie. This guy shows up who was at the party, and he has this portrait that he wants Amanda to restore. He shows up at the loft.
Okay. Bell should have been ringing off for her with this, because first of all, how do you know where I live?
Right.
It's not like she's a famous restoration, and it's not like the museum would be like, go to her house. First of all, if you came to my house, I'd be freaked out, and I would tell you need to go to the museum and go figure that out. But she didn't do that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird. And how do you not know what bullet holes look like?
Yeah, she's like, there's these weird holes. He's like, oh, they're mice. And she just believes him.
I know him. If you live in first of all, if you live in New York, you know what mice bitings look like.
Yeah.
Don't care how nice your apartment is, you know.
So we... I'm trying to... Holly is at a fashion show.
Right.
She overhears Bernie asking Jim about Megan.
So loud. He's yelling just like, whatever happened to Megan? But it is to be noted that he was sexually harassing her at the party.
Yeah.
So
she's immediately like suspicious again of Jim. Now Amanda and Jim are on their date. the models are kind of around the corner now spying on Amanda and Jim.
Because now they're actually worried because now they have this bit of information that Amanda has not shown up in a long time since she was on vacation.
Yeah.
And it's freaking Fashion Week. Anybody in fashion knows you're not going on vacation during Fashion Week.
So, and this is the second gross out scene. Like Jim and Amanda have a nice date. And as they're leaving, the models kind of back into the men's room, not to be seen. And apparently the men's room is out of order. And as the plumbers are snaking the toilet, it comes out in the other stall where all of the models are.
I would say the scene is probably very unnecessary.
I agree.
Also, the reason this is all happening is because Jim has to go to the payphone. Gosh, a payphone to make a call because something has alerted him that something is off, something is wrong. So, yeah.
So, Jim then takes Amanda on a second surprise, the second half of their date, and it's to the aquarium where the belugas are. So and Candy had called him Mr. Fish Tank earlier because he has a fish tank in his apartment. So then Amanda starts calling him Mr. Fish Tank, and there's much making out. They go back to Jim's, and they bone.
Yep. And they continue to bone for, I guess, we have to guess it's like a few times, a few dates or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the girls have insinuated that she's been over there. And then for the first time, they leave the blinds open and they get it on. So the girls are having like a full-on dinner and a movie kind of situation watching. And as this is happening, you could see that Amanda is trying to like get more information about Jim and his life and who he is. And then he shows her that he can throw a dagger. She jokes that he throws like a girl, but then we see that he actually like hit a fly.
Yeah.
And then when she comes back home, she's like going on a trip. He asked her to go on a trip with her, and the girls are like,
he's gonna whack you.
yeah. They tell her their sususpicions.
Yeah.
Oh. So, let's fast track this bad boy.
Okay, so Jim has figured out like the money's being. So Jim confesses that he works for the FBI, and he's trying to figure out how that Mr. Chairman is smuggling money into the country. And he knows it has something to do with Antwerp and dresses, but he can't figure out the rest.
And they get kidnapped because Amanda goes down to where Jim is and like accuses him of, because in the newspaper it's planted that the girl there's a body now. So she gets really upset. A chase starts because Jim, like you said, he admits that he's in the FBI. Then the models get kind of roped into it. They get pulled into it and they get kidnapped and tied up at one of the like dress factory places. And while they're tied up, they realize that the dresses actually have diamonds, and so that's how the money has been being moved all this time. They're able to get out, and of course, as they're running, there just happens to be a limo there for them to just hop into, and it's the biggest designer, and he's looking for models because his models have dropped out. So now all of them have to be in the fashion show, and even including Amanda. And at first she's not down with it, but the Russian guys are like all chasing them. So it's a crazy fashion runway situation with them. But they end up being able to like fight all these Russian guys and take them out. And then the FBI arrest them and all is good. Jim, it's like, this is his career. He got a really good pat in the back, and they actually run into that police officer and they are able to say, look, we helped solve this case and you did absolutely nothing.
And the FBI is like giving us like awards for it,
right?
Type thing, recognition. But then soon thereafter, Jim just disappears. Like after that case is over, like he disappears because Amanda does, like he says he wants to date her. He says his name is Bob Schmoot or something like that.
and he wants to get to know her, but she's like, no, she can't trust him. She regrets it, of course. She's painting him still in that damn painting, and he disappears, and she can't find him anywhere. But as she's walking down the street, here comes the damn dog, and he jumps her, and there is Bob, because he's not Jim anymore.
And Jim moves out of, like, the 5th floor, and then immediately Bob moves into the 6th floor. So it's like this whole thing where it's like, hey, I'm just moving in. Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. But they share a kiss. Bob's knees buckle.
Right. Hardly believe it. Yes. And they fall in love.
Yes.
And
that is
head over heels.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out our socials at No More Late Fees on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And let's get into our ratings. So what is your present day rating?
Not only did I buy it on DVD off of Amazon to watch it, I still love this movie. I would rewatch it over and over again.
I always like this movie. I'm teetering because I don't know if it's like a would buy it again or of a 5-day rating. But out of nostalgia, I'll just go with a would buy it.
Ooh.
Just call it a day. Let's be in sync on this one.
It's going to be a 2023 employee rec.
Yeah.
So if you have opinions about this movie, hit us up at our quick drop 909-601 NMLF 909-601-6653. Twat us at the Twitters or leave a voice message on our Anchor FM account, and you can be featured on a future episode.
And join us next week as we celebrate the 25th anniversary of a official Jackie and Danielle movie, Desert Blue.
And as always, be kind and rewind.